Good morning, America, and good morning, whomever, wherever you are on this big planet we call Earth. All right, one more time, thank you for your support on my movie on Amazon Prime, which is still doing fantastic. As you all know, it's been translated from English to French, Spanish, Japanese. So this is well past my expectation. Thank you so much for all your great support and for understanding my cosmic work. All right, now there is something a little bit frustrating to me here. I was supposed to do a radio show with my good friend Jim Carroll. Sad enough, we had a bit of a problem with technology. So I will provide you with the link once this show is finally produced, and that will be on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I will produce it. So stand by on that one. We're going to discuss a lot of very interesting things. What else do we have? Per popular request. Many of you have asked Dr. Churi, I need to know about this, about that. I need to know about my sign. So this is what I'm going to do. As of today, I'm going to start with Aries. And my next YouTube videos, I will cover the 12 sign of the zodiac. Okay. So this is generic. This is designed to serve the masses. Okay. There is a big difference, huge difference, my good friends, between a generic astrological forecast or $350 or $700 reading facing me on Skype or Zoom. Understand that will be just a little synopsis to what you can expect. It will be interesting, and it will also give you the opportunity to check on my cosmic wisdom. All right, now this being said, this newsletter is loaded with all sorts of great information. That's why you gotta click on the link. It's provided because there is so much things that I cannot cover that are in that newsletters, including the pictures. This SOS to the world deadly window has been incredibly negative. In fact, I caught a couple of accidents, fatalities on my way back from wherever I was, part of the United States, to Phoenix. And those pictures are pretty dramatic. One of them, the truck hit the side of the bridge of a highway, and the entire truck went inside of the trailer. That's to tell you the speed. Of course, this guy didn't survive. And another pictures where you will see the truck upside down. And as incredible as it may sound, this guy was arguing with another guy in the truck and asking him to close the window because I guess it was too hot. Didn't want to waste the AC. The guy did not. They start to argue, and the guy took his gun and killed him and threw him out the window. That's what you get during my SOS to the world deadly window, especially during your own negative cosmic biorhythm. So it's important to pay attention to that window. The link is there, okay? You can go and read again Dr. Forces versus Dr. Churi, July 27, special warning. You can go there and look at the dramatic news. There is so many that reflect the quatrain and the keywords that I used. For example, Jerry Thompson killed his landlord with a sword in a dispute over rent. That tells you where we are at. This coronavirus is destroying life. It's making people totally irrational, and the reptilians are fun to hijack the body, the mind of people from all walks of life and lead them to use a sword and cut the head of a landlord This is just amazing. What we are witnessing is just the tip of the iceberg, my friend, and I'm warning you. What else do we have? A man shot and killed for not rolling up the truck window. We discussed this one. Tells you the state of mind of this person. You know, I told you many, many times in the eternal battle between emotion and logic, emotion will always win and you will always lose. The guy got emotional, he got a gun and killed the guy. His life is wasted. You can read all the detail. The link is live on that newsletter. Indian serial killer confesses involvement in more than 50 murders. That came out during my Plutonic deadly window. The Kawachurian sister, 17, 18, and 19, killed their father. The excuses are unlimited. Did the father abuse those kids? Obviously, he did. If not, those three girls wouldn't have killed their dad. Did he use them sexually? I don't know. I just don't want to know because this is just make me sick. Fact of the matter is you have young kids that are overwhelmed emotionally, completely under the jurisdictions, and nobody's there to tell them to control their emotions and to be aware, because now those three young girls' life is totally wasted and their father is dead. You know, instead of religion and science and wasting billions of dollars to science robots on Mars, I think investing in my astropsychological school will do much better for humanity, my good friends. That's where we are. Russia welcomed prospect of American troops pulled back from Germany. Well, again, that is scratch my back and scratch yours. President Trump has absolutely no chance whatsoever to be reelected if you look at the stars. And again, in the newsletter, all is explained. Unless, of course, the Russian, as I predicted in 2016, will also mess around with the election process. So we'll discuss this a little bit more later on because it involved Mr. John Hogue and the show that he did with George Norton, Coast to Coast. Herman Cain died of coronavirus, a famous death. Malik B, founder, member of the Roots, died at 47, famous death. 5 family members found dead in Ohio home in suspected murder-suicide. Dramatic death news. The British government is investing in a sex party startup. Sex. Dramatic video shows officers respond to scary scene at swimming pool. Dramatic news. I mean, all you got to do, my good friend, is to use the link if you haven't been there for a while and check of the amount of dramatic, deadly news that took place during this window. And that will help you to assimilate Nostradamus' 16th century divine astrology. That brings me to talk about Mr. Hogue. All right, first of all, I don't know how many of you have heard John Hogue speaking to George Norrie about the election. But I can tell you one thing, the discussion that took place as I was listening to the show was extraordinarily rational and practical. John is smart, well-read, very, very educated, and he's got no accent. That helps to understand. And the discussion was just logical. Now and then he threw some Nostradamus verses that made no sense to me. And I also caught him in a lie. He said he did master the 16th century French. I am from there. I was born in the same part as Nostradamus in La Provence. And we speak a local dialect called the Provençal. And this dialect is only passed on mouth to mouth from generation to generation, and nobody can learn it. It's gone. So I don't know where John, learned that. But basically, what he says, and you could go and read it on Coast to Coast website. He says, authority on Nostradamus John Hogue returned to update his prophecy alarm in the first half. Hogg didn't make a firm prediction yet on the outcome of the American presidential election, as he's waiting to see who Biden will pick as his running mate. He thinks Susan Rice will be a strong candidate. Well, Mr. John Hogg, it's time for you to put the green where the mouth is. When I make predictions on coast to coast, like, you know what, I expect a huge fire and thousands of animals to die. And 2 weeks later, we have the Australian fire killing millions of animals. That is the type of prediction I make. Katrina, 9/11, to the point of bringing the FBI in my house twice because of my terrorist prediction, and so forth. He did not use astrology, and he didn't make any prediction of astrology because he's definitely not an astrophile. He may look like Nostradamus, but you know what? You can look like Elvis Presley. Doesn't mean you're going to sing and dance like Elvis Presley. So what I'm trying to tell you here, for him to do that is because he doesn't know, doesn't read the stars. Let me tell you something, my good friend. We all know that President Trump was born with the tail of the dragon in Sagittarius. Now this sign rules foreigners, foreign land, animals, religion, the law. It regulates the wildlife. That's the only president who doesn't have a pet. You know, Sagittarius rules the pet world. And we all know that he wanted to build a wall, and the wall is being built currently, which there is no need for it, because this wall translates into a COVID-19, because the future is the reincarnation of the thought, and the most powerful man in the world, running the most powerful country in the world, has millions of people who vibrates like him, who was born like him with the same stars. So this support is on fear of a foreign invasion and racism and God knows what. This is not denying the fact, okay? I'm not saying your president is a racist, okay? His niece said it. I see the stars, but this is not going to stop a bunch of idiots out there who are emotionally connected with the president and who firmly believe in what he does and support his political views. And that's good, and that's your right. But my work has nothing to do with that. My work is to make predictions, not about only Trump. I make predictions about everybody from all over the world, from all age groups, from all walks of life. That's what I do. You're going to see those idiots who cannot separate their emotions and their beliefs, and will miss the entire pictures of what I represent as far as telling you. Trump also has that very nasty negative energy on his 7th house. That's the house that regulates contract and regulates the public. And obviously, there's a lot of people who don't like him. Now, why is so much chaos in the United States right now? Because you elected a Gemini. Gemini is confusion. Gemini is split, dual. That's why America is split in two, like it has never been before. Gemini is changing his mind every 5 minutes. Gemini brings chaos when it's not disciplined. Gemini is ADD. Gemini is, in some ways, me, because I share the same dragon as our president, the hidden dragon. That's why I'm a communicator. That's why I'm a messenger of the God. That's why I'm on foreign ground, on foreign land. But I understand the head and the tail of the dragon, and I make the most of it. So, this being said, what I worry most is in 2021, when the plutonic deadly energy is going to go right into the 6th house of work, health, and service to the world of President Trump. What does it mean? Well, you'll find out, because the future has and will always be my utmost faithful witness. You will find out. But there's 3 options that Draco channeled through me. Okay, or I channeled through Draco. First one, getting really sick. mentally, physically. Second one, being assassinated. I mean, I don't think John Hogg would ever either know about it or even have the guts to mention that, especially on that conservative radio station. But you're here looking for the truth, aren't you? You're here to look for the undiluted truth, aren't you? And that's why you got me telling you what it is. So, health-wise and the possibility of being assassinated are going to jump to the roof. And because the nasty Scorpius dragon rules the FBI, the CIA, or Secret Services, this president could have a very, very interesting fate. I just put it out there. You know it. And if he does get re-elected, I'm telling you again, it will be because Putin will do all in his power to keep him there. And that's why he removed so many soldiers from Germany. So you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You have to understand President Trump is a businessman. He has billions of dollars invested in Russia. It has to be a friend with President Putin, the dictator, a man that got in power by killing the opposition. Who does not know that? This is serious, very, very serious. You have no idea, my good friend, what's going on behind the scene. And when I made this type of predictions, I have no joy because President Trump is like you and I, a human being. He's not cosmic conscious, and he's not his young daughter anywhere up and close to him that are going to be able to guide him, because none of these people have cosmic consciousness. They're all very educated, but not cosmic consciousness. So this SOS to the world deadly window is now over, and it has melted into a different window. It's a shocking, surprising, out of this world, mind-boggling type of window. Okay? A window that will produce earthquakes, the sudden release of energy, the potential of tsunami is there. Also, tornado, volcanic eruption, lightning. So if you have a Uranic negative window and you can read the quatrain and the keywords, okay, and you happen to have your own negative biorhythm, you're going to be fried. Okay, that's probably, this is what happened to Travis Walton when he got electrocuted during one of these windows. Now, there is also UFOs. Time for you to get your camera, because the extraordinary, the impossible will happen now or within the next few days as of the date that I give, okay, which is August the 3rd. Entrail upset, speed above. Volcano, hello, pretty obvious, okay? Red fire, wind, water to dance. Tornado, stars command, shock science. Again, all the educated geologists out there are going to wonder how the hell Dr. Turi does it. Okay? And even if they uncover the secret, they would never, ever in a million years mention my name. That's what it is. There's a lot of people out there that are learning from me, particularly Vedic astrologers from India, constantly hitting my website, wondering how my astrology methodology is so precise and unarguable. Calm deception to strike. So be ready, because this is in a universal way. Okay, and I have some news for you. We all had that, I think it was a 4.2 earthquakes in California. That was the beginning of this window. It's already started. So we have this California earthquakes. The keyword mentioned aeronautical accident, mid-air collision kills 7, including state lawmaker today. Plane overloaded with cocaine crashes on takeoff. okay, again today. And I'm expecting other natural disaster, which is already in formation. Hurricane Isaias heads towards Florida. So when they said, oh man, hurricane are not predicted, excuse me. If you were a VIP or a cosmic coder, you would have read this Uranic window and the possibility for you to be caught in a hurricane if you decided to go and take some day off out there without checking God cosmic design. So when people says you can't predict it, it's wrong. Pretty much like COVID-19, fully predicted. Everything that's going on today was predicted the day before your president got in power. All you got to do is click or Google President Trump, Trump for president, and then Dr. Cherry. Or you can Google anything you want as long as you put Dr. Cherry behind. There is thousands of newsletters, even though that Google has deleted many of them over the years because people complained. So what else do we have in the news today? New details about UFO encounter to be released to the public. UFOs. How come this comes today or yesterday during this window? No accident. Remember, I am not a psychic. I don't predict anything really. I use a software that I have designed that allow me to point out the type of cosmic winds that are going to produce the news, good or bad, because it works both ways. So here goes UFOs. Okay, what else do we have? NASA will launch a balloon the size of a football field. Okay, all right. That is done. It's planned to send an enormous balloon to the edge of the Earth's stratosphere in search of secrets about how stars and planets form. My friend, why learning how the stars and the planets form is very educational. There's absolutely nothing you cannot gain that will help you to lead a safer, more productive life by looking at the stars. Because God did not lay those planets and those stars to only satisfy the curiosity of your scientists. And the spiritual purpose involving the age of Aquarius is much more critical and much more deeper. You can have all the pictures of what NASA's going to send you. I'll be the first one to enjoy because I support science and I support technology. But ask yourself, looking at this balloon, looking at all these robots, is that going to help you to be prepared for the next earthquake, the next hurricane? Or maybe you going some places not understanding the cosmic code and getting killed? God created the stars and the heavens, my friend, for more than the sake of beauty or for more to amuse the scientists. He gave them to us for interpretation so that we may lead a safer, more productive life. That's why God created the stars. Now, before those educated idiots go and investigate the marvel of our universe, why don't they spend some time to investigate their backyard, to investigate the spiritual values of our local solar system? Why do you want to go outside when you know nothing of the spiritual values of this solar system as designed by God himself? It's just amazing. Then 300 scientists is what it's going to take to check those operations, to analyze the data, return from the rover, monitor the functions, and oversee the suite of instrument board, etc., etc. 300. And they don't work for free. They need your support. They need your tax dollars. They need your donation. They need to amuse you by discovering every single day a new planet or a new black hole, knowing there is trillions and billions of planets that will never run out of offering you junk and making you believe, most of all, that one day man will walk Mars. My good friend, listen carefully. Please pay attention. You only have one spaceship. It's precious. It's extraordinarily rare. It's beautiful. It's marvelous. This is your spaceship. It's called Earth. And she is showing some serious sign of disintegration because of deforestation, because of science, because of pollution. My good friend, it is crucial to take care of our Mother Earth. Why do you want to go on Mars when you cannot breathe, you cannot move? Do you think it would be fun for anybody to live in a scaphandre and to stimulate the mind of those young kids who have nothing up here? They want to be part of history and take on the one-way voyage and never come back. There's so many idiots out there, hundreds of thousands of signs for it. Why? Why it's so easy for NASA or the religious matrix to get so much money, so much power, so much organization? Because right there at school, they indoctrinated you and your kids to believe only in science or Allah, Buddha, Mohammed, the Mormon, Hare Krishna, Witness of Jehovah, Fatima, Guru in Peru, the Mormon or Scientology. That's what you're dealing with. And then you have Dr. Cherry, the truth. It might take a while for you to actually realize that exposing God cosmic design is not only require a specific gift, but also require you to be spiritual enough to understand the manipulation going behind those scientists who do not want to work like you and I. Their spiritual pride is extreme. They are too smart. They are too intelligent, okay? They have doctorate, they have PhDs. They are the children of the children of the children who worked in the 50s and the 60s to build those nukes. And they don't want to go to work like you and I. They want to make little robots and make millions. And they have to lie to you in order to keep money coming so they can pay for their mortgage, their food, their insurance. My friend, can't you see what's going on? Can't you see the reality of what the scientific community is doing and why they must deny the reality of God, cosmic design, and ridicule astrology and see it as a pseudoscience? I need your help. I need your help so I can bring that cosmic wisdom back where it used to be in our college university in the old days, okay? And educate those kids, because those children do not regenerate. They don't know who they are. They don't know their fate. They do not know their connection with God and the divine. All they got to do is to Google, and they're going to end up on NASA or the option to sign up in one of the 875 different religions that were created by the reptilians themselves to produce more chaos on planet Earth. That's what we are dealing with, my friends. The abusive mass cult society is a deadly proposition. And most of the time, these people will ridicule also the reality of extraterrestrials. And this is why you have some idiots, a minority, God thanks for that, that give me 1 star on my UFO movies because they cannot relate to the divine. They cannot attract the divine, even if their life depended on it, because they are not computerized by God himself to dig into the unbelievable, the incredible, the mind-boggling. They're rational, they're logical, they are young souls. Their UCI, their unique celestial identity, is not advanced enough. They need a few reincarnation in order to understand, or at least open the door to things they cannot relate to and investigate instead of assuming. Well, you're going to see the pictures of some guys that tattoo themselves. They're completely reptilian infected. And they certainly would have no much problem to kill you too. because it's not them anymore. But once upon a time, those two ugly, tattooed face losers used to be innocent, beautiful children, but they got overwhelmed by the reptilians. What else do we have? Kanye West's mental health battle is a wake-up for empathy. I mean, you're talking about very famous people loaded with drugs, pot, loaded with legal or illegal drugs. That is the environment. That is the price to pay when you're a celebrity. You cannot have a normal life. The next thing you know, you're going to get your child, you're going to get it on the pontoon, you're going to go to the lake, and you're going to drown purposely. You're going to commit suicide. Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious. I'd say 99.9% of all celebrities suffer mental problems, depression, or in the case, of course, of Kanye West, some serious bipolar disorder. This is what science calls those diseases. A myriad of them, okay? But it's all reptilian infectation. That's where it starts. That's where it finishes. It's a reptilian infectation. And if you do not know, I use the words universal infestation, universal infectation 5 years before coronavirus infested the entire world. So somebody must have been right, my friend. The idea, of course, is for you to investigate. Trump promoted a doctor. Watch what she says about demon. And that is what hurts me, because this stupid idiot, educated idiot, is a Neptunian. Click on the word. It's pink. What is a Neptunian? That lady has a church. And she's all about demon. She's totally and completely infected. And when she mentioned women having sex with ghosts, she's partially right. But there's no sex with extraterrestrial. They don't need sex. What's more realistic is that they're going to go into the womb of those women who have, who are themselves unaware of what's going on. They don't have any cosmic consciousness, and they're addicted to legal or illegal drugs, and goes the reptilians into that womb. Manipulate the genes to create chaos, to create pain, to create Down syndrome, to create bipolar people, to create gays and lesbians. But this doesn't mean I don't like gays and lesbians. And it doesn't mean that autistic children are not geniuses on their own right. There is so much more about being a human being, my good friend. You've heard me many, many times, and I'm sorry if I sound redundant, but you are so much more than blood, flesh, nerves, and bones. You're a human being. You have so much power. If nobody educates you, you're going to be a robot of your stars, which are being manipulated by the reptilians, because those guys are cosmic conscious. Well, all I can tell you, my good friend, is this is a very, very, very tough time. And I can sympathize with you, because business is completely out of order. Career have been destroyed. Restaurants, public places, you cannot get close to each other's. And that's nasty, because reptilians infected sexual maniac out there are going to rape women, making women, kind of a target to those people which are infected. So be cautious if you're a woman, especially during any negative windows. You could be at the wrong time, at the wrong place, if you do not know when your negative cosmic biorism are going to hit you. negative cosmic biorhythm combined with a negative deadly window, you're gone. Be cautious. All I'm trying to tell you is I'm here for you. I care for you. I mean it. If I can bring you any form of spiritual regeneration, which I do, if not, you wouldn't be coming back. And the numbers are growing. Finally, my message is being heard. You are gathering information that keep you afloat. There's millions of other people, especially very, very sensitive teens, that don't get those information and they get depressed. They lost hope for the future. They don't want to do anything. They're going to seek refuge with drugs and end up in the Nirvanic world because the reality is too hard to deal with. I'm here. Taranya and I, we're here for you. Especially if you become a VIP, you can talk to us. You can ask us questions. Okay? So we're here in this battle together. Now let's talk about Aries. Aries, the mercurial energy is affecting the third house, which is the house of communication, or writing, teaching, okay? And the ninth house, which is a Jupiterian energy. The ninth house deals with foreigners, foreign land, and publishing. My wife, Taranya, is an Aries. She's about to publish her first book. You can't deny it. Now, if you're an Aries, you are going to feel the urge to communicate, to write, to read, to study, or maybe to look outside for a foreigner influences and learn something from foreigners. So if you're an Aries, you're already reading, talking, communicating, and expanding on your ninth house, which regulates the higher level of information and the higher education. Because the tail is in this area, and because your president has the tail in that energy, college, university, curse. Your kids are going to stay home. This energy will last all the way, you heard me earlier, to 2021. It's just the beginning, and it's going to get much worse. In fact, there is a dance of evil coming on the election day. November and December are going to be very, very dramatic months. On the day of the election, it will be the beginning of the end of important phases of life, so it'll be coming to an end. Somebody is going to go, somebody's coming in. Beginning, ending of important phases of life. That's on the night of the election. But the main focus won't be on the election, my friends, because when comes the winter, it's August right now, it's hot, and you know vitamin D and the sun supposed to kill coronavirus, or at least slows down its progress. Yesterday was 118 in Arizona. Hot, and we still have more death than ever last few days. Imagine when the winter comes in. I don't have joy telling you, my friend, to be prepared. You know, a year and a half ago, I thought, okay, that mercurial energy is coming. How am I going to use it? Mercury rules communication, transportation, driving. So I thought, I'm going to take my CDL license and take all my endorsement. And because I knew how to use that energy, I am now traveling the entire United States, enjoying the scenery like I never did before, making tons of money in the process, and I'm still serving all my clients, two at a time when I'm off. Sometimes 2 days off, sometimes 1 day off. And I'm having fun, helping you at the physical and the spiritual level and offering humanity the best of the best. I knew those cosmic winds were coming. and I knew I had to do something to use them. So if you're an Aries, knowing that the mercurial energy is in your head, in your third house of communication, writing, talking, reading, communication, studying, foreigners, foreign land are going to play a very important part on that, on those cosmic winds coming your way. I give you an hint. I told you what I did. I took a little study that saved my butt, because now I'm needed, desperately needed, and they're paying a lot of money to drive. So think, but as I give you this little tip on how you could use both those winds, Mercurial and Sagittarius, affecting your mind and your higher learning area, that involve foreigners, Dr. Cherry, if you're an Aries or any other sign. You could have the moon in Aries, the rising, the hidden or natal dragon in Aries. Then you're going to connect with me. But again, I repeat myself, this is just a synopsis, a little tip compared to what you really should know on how not only the dragon, natal, and hidden is affecting you, but where all the other planets are affecting you in your chart. And that can only be done if you decide to have a reading with me on Skype or Zoom. And my advice to you, order your reading and forget about it, because I'm booked now all the way up to January. As I said, you may get a call from Taranya. Hey, you know what? This person can't make it. She has surgery. So you might get a call earlier. Oh, work it out. I might just decide to quit. I don't know yet. It's not in the plan yet. You know my goal. I want to buy you a big boat. I want to buy you a new SUV, a Lexus, top of the line. Costs a lot of money. Money is coming. Because I thought, and I know how to use the stars at my advantage. That's what I do. So in those difficult times, as you're dying and depressed, it may be a blessing in disguise with you. If you keep your hopes high, if you understand my cosmic messages, and if you realize that the part of God in you is stronger than whatever the mess we're in, and you can make the right decision for yourself. And that's what I do, helping you to make the right decision for your fate. All right, now, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning in order to produce that, because the date of August the 3rd, I'm going to be there fast. I'm going to be leaving in 3 hours. And we're not going far. We're going to Cisco in Texas, which is a little bit before Dallas. So I'll be back probably tomorrow or after tomorrow. We're 2 here. So I'll be here Monday and Tuesday, and I got a lot of things to catch up with, do some reading. I've got a couple of radio shows. Remember, the links will be given to you in time. So, my good friends, we are coming at the end of this YouTube video. Like always, hey, Dr. Trey would like you. Give me a thumb up. We're going to have all these idiots who cannot separate themselves from their political views, okay? And give me a thumb down. We always have those idiots. They're infected and they can dance on my head. They will never perceive my message, and they will always degenerate. It's just the way it is. Their life will be misery, and it has been misery, and it will never change because they won't change. That's how it is. Go to my movie, please. Give me a little bit of a feedback. Give me some stars, and I'll be there to answer you. Now, next time we're going to talk about Taurus, but there it goes for Aries. So when my wife's first book comes out, if you like poetry, or if you like to read the stories that she writes, and she's a good writer, put your hand on that book. Until then, my good friend, God bless all of you. Be safe out there. Wear your mask. Keep your distance. Wash your hands. This is not a joke. It is a deadly disease, and it's going to get much worse. I wish I had better news for you. But again, as I said yesterday, if you use oregano oil, if you're positive, those reptilians have no business with you. And another thing that's important, and I might as well tell you before I leave, 2 or 3 times since I started writing, I had some serious sinus congestion. It's like poof, headaches. I was not feeling well at all. And those sinuses usually means something is going on there. And it's going to go into your throat, and it's going to go into your lungs, and bye-bye. Coronavirus is going to sit in. If you're young and strong, you'll be okay. If you're old like me, you die. All right, so what do? I stopped at a local pharmacy, and you buy this decongestant, and you put it on your nose, and you blow it all out. You kill the virus before it gets to you, okay? Your nose, that's why apparently when you get the viruses, you lose your sense of smell, because the virus, for some reason, get to the nerves and it knock down your sense of smell. So I had that too. Can't breathe, can't smell. So I use that, and for some reason, if soap can kill a virus, I believe me, this thing is also going to kill the virus. So if you feel congested, don't stay like that. Sniff that thing and throw it all out, clean it all out, okay? And be positive so the reptiles can get to you. Okay, we talk to you sometime next week, or if there is something emergency or shocking news that I have to mention, then I'll be back. Until then, be safe. God bless all of you, my good friend.